Well, the ongoing rights protests in the United States of America following the death of George Floyd in police custody have sparked a wave of similar protests across the world, calling for social reforms. Here in Kenya, protesters took to the street to demonstrate against police brutality and the killings. At least 15 such deaths have been reported in the country since the curfew was imposed. Anita Nkonge has the details.
Touting signs calling for a stop to police brutality, Kenyans took to the streets of Mathare slums to demonstrate the unjust killing of Kenyans and use of excessive force by law enforcement.
Niko hapa leo kutetea vijana wetu wale ambaye wamekufa kupitia mikono ya polisi bila hatia yoyote. Na tumesema sasa enough is enough. Kama wamama wa Mathare tumeuiwa vijana sana. Vijana wetu wanauliwa kiholela, wakipatiwa majina za uongo, wakipachikwa jina hawa ni waizi. Hali vijana wetu si waizi.
Important to stand in solidarity with victims of police brutality, both locally and globally. It's atrocious. We can't have a peaceful, prosperous existence with the police state, period.
Kenyan police have allegedly been involved in the deaths of 15 people since the country put a nighttime curfew in place in March to combat the coronavirus, according to the Independent Policing Oversight Authority. The IPOA says it has received 87 complaints against police since the dusk to dawn curfew and heightened security measures were imposed on March 27th.
I have chosen Kenya as my home for the past almost decade, and I'm going to keep choosing it every day. And what that means is that you have to be willing to fight to make your country better. And this is how people do it, you know? This is how you get the people who feel unheard to feel heard.
This spark in protest comes in the wave of worldwide protests against the brutal killing of George Floyd in the U.S. city of Minneapolis. George died days after the officer knelt on his neck for 8 minutes while he pleaded for his life and called for his mother. Following nationwide protests, the Council of U.S. City Minneapolis has voted to dismantle and rebuild the city's police department. A council member says the veto-proof majority of the MPLS City Council agreed that the police department is not reformable and that they're going to end the current policing system.
These are not the right response for a myriad of issues: mental health crises, domestic violence calls, opioid overdoses.
Hundreds of demonstrators have been marching towards the White House and gathering on the newly renamed Black Lives Matter Plaza to protest against police brutality and racism in the U.S. Anita Nkonge, NTV.